Chosen one, this message is not intended for the masses. It is directed specifically at you. If these words have reached you, it is not by coincidence. There is a spiritual shift occurring, an undercurrent in the unseen realm that directly impacts your current journey. The circumstances surrounding you, the tension in the atmosphere, and the sudden changes in relationships are not merely social dynamics. They are spiritual signals. Individuals who once applauded your efforts now remain silent. Smiles have faded. Encouragement has turned into quiet judgment. What was once support is now distant or even antagonistic. Yet this should not be a cause for fear. According to spiritual insight, what appears as opposition is often an indicator of preparation. The shift in behavior from others is less about who you are now and more about who you are becoming. At this moment, the spiritual message being emphasized is to step back intentionally. This is not a retreat rooted in fear, but rather a strategic withdrawal, necessary recalibration. In this season, spiritual discernment is advising you to limit access to your energy, to silence distractions, and to preserve your mental, emotional, and spiritual resources. You are not being punished. You are being shielded for what lies ahead. Spiritual growth often precedes public elevation. Before individuals step into new assignments or higher visibility, they are commonly brought into a season of solitude. Historical and spiritual examples support this pattern. Jesus in the wilderness, David in hiding, and Joseph in confinement. In each case, withdrawal preceded public recognition. The wilderness was not abandonment. It was preparation. If you are currently experiencing increased pressure or internal heaviness, it is not a sign of weakness. In fact, the intensity of your current struggle often reflects the level of assignment you're about to carry. This is not spiritual warfare without cause. It is warfare provoked by spiritual advancement. And you are not under attack because of failure. You are under attack because you are a threat, because you are chosen. During this period, the instruction is to disengage from proving yourself to others. This is not the time to explain your absence, justify your boundaries, or respond to criticism. Let silence become your protection. Let restraint be your shield. Your energy is in a state of spiritual sensitivity, and engaging in unnecessary conversations may drain what should be preserved. Spiritual growth is rarely loud. It occurs in silence, in isolation, in the hidden moments where the soul is refined. This is not a message of despair, but one of encouragement. You are being refined, not broken, hidden, not forgotten, strengthened, not discarded, elevation, not exposure. It is important to understand that spiritual promotion does not always appear with applause. It often arrives disguised as rejection, silence, or withdrawal. You may find yourself no longer fitting into familiar circles. Conversations may feel superficial. Relationships may suddenly shift. These shifts are not always personal. They are often spiritual. What you're experiencing is the recalibration of your alignment. Your frequency has changed. You are now walking with a deeper sense of purpose, and that purpose emits energy, an energy that others can sense even if they cannot explain it. As a result, you may find yourself receiving mixed responses. Some individuals are drawn to your energy, seeing in you a reflection of what they're yearning for. Others, however, may feel threatened or unsettled. They may interpret your growth as arrogance, your clarity as confrontation, and your healing as betrayal. But this is not a sign to retreat in shame. It is confirmation that your inner work is bearing fruit. You are becoming more aligned with your true self, and that alignment challenges the misalignment around you. You are not being too much. You are becoming exactly what you were called to be. Your light, however, will not always be welcomed. Light exposes shadows. And while some people will welcome illumination, Others will resist it because it reveals what they have hidden, even from themselves. That resistance is not a reflection of your character. It is a reaction to your authenticity. And spiritual authenticity often agitates what is unresolved in others. As you continue to evolve, you may observe subtle signs of envy or distance from individuals close to you. The praise may become passive. The support may turn into scrutiny. You are not imagining it. When you're truly chosen, the challenges rarely come from strangers. They come from those who once walked closely with you, those familiar with your earlier stages, and those now uncomfortable with your transformation. This discomfort is often rooted in their own stagnation. Your progress acts as a mirror, highlighting areas in others they have yet to confront. Some may respond with encouragement and growth of their own. Others may attempt to minimize or sabotage your progress in order to maintain a sense of control. But their discomfort is not your responsibility to resolve. Your role is to continue growing. You do not owe anyone the limitation of your purpose to keep them comfortable. You do not have to reduce your light to maintain harmony. This season of transformation may be accompanied by separation. And while it may feel painful, it is a divine filtration. The pruning of people, habits, and mindsets is necessary to make space for what is next. You may be tempted to explain yourself, to hold on to what is slipping away, to resist the discomfort of change. But wisdom instructs you to let go, not in bitterness, but in clarity, not in anger, but in faith. What is being removed is not punishment, it is preparation. This period of being underground is not a regression. It is a sacred pause designed to preserve the purity of your process. What is forming inside you requires protection. The spiritual environment around you must be clean, the distractions minimized, the energies monitored. During this time, guard your schedule. Protect your space. Limit the noise that enters your mind. Spend time in stillness, in prayer, in reflection. Reconnect with your inner voice. Seek clarity, not crowds. Growth is an internal process, and while the external world may misunderstand your silence, you are not obligated to explain it. In this solitude, you are being strengthened. The wisdom you seek is being deposited. The clarity you need is being formed. The next stage of your life is not being built in public, it is being structured in private. And when the moment of reemergence comes, you will not return as you were. You will return with greater authority, deeper wisdom, and a refined sense of identity. Understand that not everyone who appears supportive is aligned with your purpose. Some individuals may express admiration while secretly wishing for your downfall. This is not cynicism, it is discernment. The proximity of someone to your past does not guarantee their right to access your future. This is a time to examine the quality of your relationships. Do they nourish your growth or inhibit it? Do they celebrate your evolution or question it? Do they walk with you in alignment or drag you back into the cycles you've already broken? You are not obligated to remain in environments that no longer reflect your values or your vision. Your expansion requires new ground. And with new ground comes new boundaries. Set those boundaries without guilt. Let your V or MO be firm when necessary. Decline invitations that pull you into old patterns. Guard your energy as sacred, because it is. You are not being selfish. You are being strategic. Your purpose demands it. The world often views silence as absence. But in spiritual terms, silence is preparation. It is the space where clarity grows, where strategies are revealed, and where strength is renewed. Do not resist it. Embrace it. This moment is not about applause. It is about alignment. As we continue, it's important to remain grounded in the understanding that alignment always precedes assignment. The quiet season you are in is not passive. It is profoundly active beneath the surface. The isolation, The sense of being overlooked or even misunderstood is not a misstep, it is a hidden strategy. You are not being delayed. You are being developed. Chosen one, what's happening now is not a punishment, it's refinement. There are areas in your character, your mindset, and even your speech that are being aligned with your next level. And this refinement cannot happen in crowded spaces. It requires silence, solitude, and surrender. This is where you begin to think differently, not from a place of emotional reaction, but from wisdom and foresight. When you are set apart, your discernment increases. You begin to detect the true nature of conversations. You recognize manipulation hidden behind flattery. You feel tension in environments where the energy once felt familiar. All of this is part of your spiritual sharpening. The message is clear. Do not ignore what you're sensing. That feeling is not paranoia, it is perception. What your intuition is telling you is worthy of your trust. And the longer you walk in alignment, the louder your clarity becomes. During this time, you may also experience a kind of spiritual fatigue. It may feel like heaviness in the morning, like mental fog throughout the day, or emotional sensitivity that catches you off guard. But rather than viewing this as a setback, it should be seen as a signal. Your system is adjusting. Your soul is detoxing. Everything that was once tolerated but no longer aligns with your current frequency is being purged, not only physically, but spiritually and emotionally. It may show up as fatigue, tears, mood swings, or even a strong desire to withdraw from people, media, and conversations. This is all normal. The goal is not to fix what you're feeling, but to listen to what it's revealing. Your inner world is attempting to show you what needs attention, what needs release, and what needs reordering. Pay attention. Honor the signals. Make the necessary shifts, not out of fear, but out of alignment. This is the season where obedience matters more than explanation. You don't have to explain why you're pulling back. You don't have to justify why certain friendships no longer feel right. You don't need to convince anyone of your growth. What you're doing now is deeper than what others can see, and their understanding is not a requirement for your movement. There's a phrase often spoken during spiritual transformation: elevation requires separation. This is not just poetic, it's practical. In order to move into what you're being called to, something must be left behind. That could be a relationship, a belief, a habit, or even a version of yourself that was once necessary but is now expired. Letting go is not rejection. It is redirection. Sometimes you must walk away, not because you hate what was, but because you honor what's coming. Holding on to expired attachments can delay or even distort your alignment. What you do not release voluntarily will be removed through discomfort. And so, this message calls you to a level of spiritual maturity. You must choose what you know is right, even when it's uncomfortable. You must trust the process, even when the steps feel unclear. You must believe that what's being formed in you is worth protecting, even when it feels invisible. This season requires internal stability. The applause may be gone. The invitations may slow down. The recognition may be quiet. But that does not mean you are off track. In fact, it may be the clearest sign that you're exactly where you need to be. You see, the world celebrates noise, but the spirit builds in silence. The most important construction in your life is happening when no one else is watching. Your next chapter is not being built on public platforms. It's being anchored in private places. Chosen one, this private season is an invitation to become fully rooted, not just in your identity, but in your discipline. Can you still be consistent when no one is clapping? Can you still show up for yourself when no one is affirming it? Can you maintain your standard without public accountability? If the answer is yes, then your foundation is strong. And a strong foundation is what sustains purpose when visibility arrives. Because visibility is not the goal. Authenticity is. There are many who are seen but not aligned. Loud but lacking clarity. Active but not effective. You, however, are being prepared to move differently. You are being trusted with influence, not for your benefit, but for impact. And impact doesn't require noise. It requires depth. This is why your boundaries matter. Not everyone can walk with you in this next phase. Not everyone is meant to understand your decisions, and that's okay. What matters is that you understand them, that your peace confirms your steps, that your clarity validates your movement. You are not arrogant for protecting your space, that you are not unkind for choosing peace over performance. You are not selfish for refusing to shrink yourself. You are being faithful to what is sacred. Faithfulness to your growth means you say no, not just to people, but to patterns, to environments that pull you back into confusion, to habits that dull your discernment, to distractions that delay your development, because clarity is fragile. And what you feed will grow. Feed peace, and peace grows. Feed anxiety, and anxiety grows. Feed presence, and wisdom grows. You are in control of your atmosphere. What you allow, what you entertain, what you respond to, all of it shapes your spiritual environment. So, this is your call to step into a more intentional way of being. No more autopilot, no more default patterns, no more tolerating what feels off. You are past that now. You are not who you were a year ago or even a month ago. And the environments you once endured are no longer aligned with your frequency. Let that be okay. Let yourself outgrow places. Let yourself evolve in silence. Let yourself be misunderstood without explanation. And let yourself walk in purpose, even when it's lonely. Because what's coming next is not built for crowds. It's built for clarity. You're being positioned to carry weight, not just titles or accolades, but wisdom, discernment, and authority. And those things are cultivated in obscurity. So don't rush this process. Don't skip this phase. The quiet is doing more than you realize. When the time comes for you to emerge, you will not be the same. You will speak with authority. You will move with precision. You will decide with discernment. You will connect with purpose, and it will not be because of external training, but because of internal transformation. The silence, the solitude, the discomfort, it's all doing its work. And when the preparation is complete, your next step will not be forced. It will be fluid. Your movement will feel natural. Your clarity will be undeniable. Your peace will be your compass. So for now, chosen one, stay grounded. Honor your space. Prioritize your rest. Guard your clarity, because you are not preparing for a small assignment. You are being entrusted with something that requires spiritual depth, emotional maturity, and unwavering discipline. And you're almost ready. Stay in alignment. Keep doing the inner work, because when the moment comes, it will not be a surprise. It will be confirmation. And you'll know exactly what to do. As we reach the final stretch of this message, it's important to ground everything in this simple truth. What you have experienced up to now has not been wasted. The silence was not without purpose. The transitions were not random. The discomfort was not meaningless. Chosen one, your current state is not a detour, it's divine design. And the clarity you've gained is not just insight for reflection. It's instruction for how to move forward. You're being called to live differently. Not louder, not faster, but deeper, wiser, more intentionally. You've exited one level of existence, characterized by emotional reaction, people-pleasing, and spiritual ambiguity, and you are now entering a phase that requires presence, consistency, and accountability to the vision you carry. This final stage is about embodiment. You've been learning, you've been growing, you've been unlearning old patterns and adjusting your internal compass. But now the question is, can you live it? Can you walk out the truth you've received? Can you act in alignment with what you now know? Embodiment is not about perfection. It's not about never feeling weak, discouraged, or uncertain. It's about making decisions that align with your clarity, even when it's difficult. It's about building habits that support your spiritual stability, not just reacting emotionally when things feel off. It means maintaining your morning routine because it feeds your peace. It means saying no to good opportunities because they distract from the right ones. It means maintaining your boundaries, even when others don't understand them. It means giving yourself permission to rest, reflect, and recalibrate without guilt. The most significant shifts in your life will not come from dramatic announcements. They will come from quiet, consistent choices, from intentional repetition of the right actions day after day, from staying aligned even when no one is watching. That is the mark of a mature spirit. This is where many chosen ones struggle, not because they lack vision, but because they underestimate the importance of structure. Structure protects revelation. You may have deep insight, a clear sense of purpose, or powerful intuition, but if you don't have a system to anchor that clarity, it will evaporate under pressure. So this part of your journey is about building a framework for your clarity. That framework includes routines, environments, relationships, and commitments that support who you are becoming. It means being honest about what you can and cannot sustain. It means simplifying your schedule so that your priorities are honored. And, more than anything, it means choosing peace over pressure. Peace will often lead you into unfamiliar rhythms. It may slow you down. It may pull you away from social noise. It may make you feel like you're missing out. But peace is not absence, it's presence. Presence with yourself, presence with your purpose, presence with God. As you stay present, you'll begin to notice the subtle, consistent signs of alignment. Doors will open that match your integrity, not your image. People will appear who see you clearly, not just conveniently. Your environment will start to reflect your inner world, and your intuition will become sharper. But this isn't automatic. It's a practice, one that requires patience and grace with yourself. You may still encounter resistance. Even after all this growth, old patterns may resurface. Moments of doubt may visit. Unexpected distractions may appear. But the difference now is that you know how to respond. Now have tools. You've cultivated awareness. You've learned how to pause, how to reflect, how to return to center. And this makes you dangerous to any cycle that once kept you bound. You're not easily manipulated now. You're not spiritually confused now. You don't need external approval to move forward. You are walking with clarity, and clarity is power. There's a calm authority that comes from someone who's no longer fighting for validation. Someone who's anchored in who they are, who understands their value, and who moves accordingly. You are becoming that person. Not overnight. But gradually, intentionally, permanently. And as that internal shift becomes consistent, your external life will start to mirror it. You'll begin to attract new alignments, not because you forced them, but because your vibration changed. And your vibration always governs your connections. You'll find that some things just fall away naturally. Some people drift, some habits lose their grip, some desires fade. Let it happen. Don't resist the release. Don't chase what's being removed. Don't mourn what was only meant to be seasonal. Instead, give thanks. Gratitude is the gateway to more clarity. Thank God for the release. Thank yourself for listening. Thank the process for revealing the truth. Every closed door, every unanswered call, every redirection was leading you here. To this place of peace. To this level of alignment. To this new normal of clarity. So what comes next? You move forward, not in haste, but in wisdom. You make decisions not out of fear, but from discernment. You build not just for yourself, but for the legacy your life is meant to leave. And you continue walking through resistance, through change, through uncertainty anchored in truth. Because the truth is, you were never lost. You were being led. You were never overlooked. You were being protected. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. The preparation was private, but the impact will be public. Your story may not look like others. Your path may be unconventional, but your clarity is real. And it's enough. You don't need more approval. You need more trust. More trust in what you carry. More trust in who you're becoming. More trust in the timing of your release. Let this final part be your confirmation. You are not behind. You are not too late. You have not missed it. You are exactly where you need to be. And from this place, everything aligned with your purpose will unfold naturally, divinely, powerfully. No need to rush. No need to prove. No need to perform. Just continue, steady, present, align. Your life is the message. Now, let it speak without noise. Let it echo without explanation. Let it lead without resistance. And when the next season arrives, you'll be ready. Not because of what you have, but because of who you've become. That is the journey of a chosen one, and that is the legacy you now carry forward. If this message spoke to something deep within you, it was never meant to be entertainment. It was meant to be a mirror to reflect your journey, your alignment, your inner transformation. What you've just received wasn't designed to simply pass through your ears. It was designed to take roots so that it produces something lasting in your life. Chosen one, you've spent far too long doubting what you carry. You've questioned your instincts, paused your purpose, and played small to make others comfortable. But no more. This message isn't just about reflection, it's about action. Because alignment without action remains potential. And you were never designed to live under potential. You were created to walk in clarity and move in purpose. That begins with a decision to stay consistent, a decision to honor your peace, a decision to protect your growth. If what you've heard in this video confirmed something you already sensed, let this moment be your anchor. Don't let the noise of life drown out the voice of clarity you've just received. Start with yourself. Begin by making time to sit in stillness after this message. Reflect not only on what felt true, but why it felt true. What within you recognized this message is familiar? What part of your spirit said, "I've known this all along"? That's the part that's ready to lead. That's the part that's already been activated. And once clarity has surfaced, build structure around it. What are the daily rhythms that support your highest awareness? Is it waking up early to reset in silence? Is it journaling your thoughts or moving your body to reconnect with your energy? Is it limiting access to draining relationships or choosing content that reinforces clarity instead of confusion? Don't complicate your process. Your next season is not going to be built by performance. It's going to be built by simple, honest, consistent choices, honoring your values, protecting your vision, and refusing to return to cycles that no longer reflect who you've become. If this message supported your process, I invite you to stay connected. Subscribe to this channel, not just as a viewer, but as a participant in your own growth. Turn on the notifications so you receive what's next in the exact moment you need it. This space isn't about hype, it's about alignment. It's about providing the clarity you need to keep walking forward when things around you shift again. And there will be shifts. Growth is not linear. Your clarity will be challenged. You will be tempted to forget what you know, to lower your standard, to return to what was familiar. But when that moment comes, because it will, you'll need to remember this message. You'll need to return to truth, not emotion. To alignment, not approval. To peace, not pressure. That's why this connection matters. Not for the algorithm, not for validation, but for spiritual rhythm. When your rhythm is clear, Your direction is consistent. When your direction is consistent, your decisions become peaceful. And when you live from peace, you create a legacy that is unshakable. So if you're ready for more than just moments of inspiration, if you're committed to transformation, this is your invitation to stay close. Subscribe. Share the message with someone who's also been wrestling with uncertainty or transition. Let this be the beginning of a new level of accountability, not to others, but to yourself and the purpose you carry. You are not watching this by accident. You didn't land here by chance. This message found you because it was time to stop. Second guessing. Not time to stop shrinking, not time to stop negotiating your peace. Time to start building what you've been envisioning for years. And the truth is, you already have what you need. The clarity is here. The energy is shifting. The vision is forming. Now it's time to walk it out. Thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for honoring your process, quietly, privately, patiently. That kind of obedience builds a foundation no storm can shake. This message is complete, but your journey continues. And when you return for the next one, may you come back stronger, clearer, and more anchored than ever before. Until then, stay focused, stay grounded, and stay faithful to the truth you now carry. You are the chosen one, and your time is now.